Hello, everyone, and welcome to Around Town with Rotary. Around Town with Rotary is a program to help educate, certainly Beverlyites, of the great things that our Beverly Rotary Club does, particularly right here in our community. It's a monthly program, and each month we do interview and talk with a brother or sister Rotarian, and that is no different this month. Please say hello to my co-partner here, Mike Harrington, who will introduce our guest.
Well, thank you, Al. We're delighted here to have as our guest Connor Mooney. Connor is part of the family at Sterling Insurance Agency. He's been there for a long time with him and his family. They've been an institution here in Beverly for a long time. But Connor is also this year's new president of the Beverly Rotary Club. And he's very excited to be in that role, and we're excited to talk with him about not only him and his personal life and professional life, but also all his good work here as the president this year. So welcome, Connor.
Thanks, Al and Mike. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
Well, I'll tell you what, just for our viewers at home, before we get into Rotary and your job and all that, let's just tell us a little bit about you. Where did you grow up and all that kind of stuff?
So I grew up in Beverly, so I think that I would consider myself as a townie by default.
Yeah.
So grew up in Beverly. Went to Beverly High School. We were actually the first year that graduated out of the new high school they built. So it's fun being back here filming this. And went to University of Massachusetts. Went to school for sports management. Had a couple unpaid internships that I wasn't really thrilled with, and then decided, okay, maybe it's time to get into the family business. But as far as as far as what I liked, or what was the second part of the question?
No, I think you pretty well covered it. So you went to school, sports management. What were you thinking in those years before you get into the family business? Were you thinking about a career that was unrelated to that?
Yeah, I love baseball, so I wanted to get involved with working in the baseball industry. But then I soon realized that if you're working the games, you never actually get to watch them. So that took some fun out of it. But that was the route that I was planning on going initially before getting my insurance license.
Okay. But then Dad invited you into the family business. And how long have you been in that role?
Yeah. Coincidentally, I was looking around different insurance places around. He didn't think I was serious when I told him that I wanted to work for him. So I guess I had to prove myself in a way, and he actually caught wind from somebody else around. They're like, "Hey, your son applied to my company. Like, what's going on there?" And then that's when he actually offered me the job. So I had to show that I was serious before that.
Good. You used a little bit of leverage.
Yeah.
You get the word out. You created some leaks, some media leaks, to let them know that you were out there.
Exactly.
I guess the good news is that he hired you.
Right.
If he didn't pick up on that, that would have been a little bit of a challenge personally, I would guess.
Yeah.
You know what, Connor, tell us a little bit, though. I mean, Sterling Insurance has been in Beverly for a long, long time. Tell the viewers a little bit about the history of Sterling Insurance, your family's background in it, and all that type of thing.
Yeah, so it was formed in 1929, so we're actually coming up on our 100th year in the community. We've been in Beverly the whole time, and Lester Sterling started it, and then my grandfather purchased it from Lester Sterling in the 70s. So it's been in the Mooney family for about 50 years now, and I'm really proud to carry on that legacy. It's Rick, my father, and myself there as the Moonies, and it's incredible. It's an incredible opportunity being a third generation family business, being the third generation of a family business.
Sure. And I just want to add, you are my insurance people, and you guys are really, really, really good at what you do.
Thank you.
The service is incredible.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate it.
We try really hard. We definitely
Absolutely. Do. Yep. So tell us a little bit about your home life. You have a foster daughter.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about your foster daughter, your home life.
So that was a situation that just popped up kind of out of the blue. My wife, Kelly, she works at a high school. She's a school adjustment counselor, and she approached me and she said, "Hey, this kid, she's in the foster care system, and she's going to need another home soon." And she was really thriving at the high school that my wife is at. So my wife asked me, she's like, "What are your thoughts in taking her in?" And she's 17, she's a junior. I said, absolutely. And then within 2 weeks, she was living in our house. And
Wow.
We've been doing all the paperwork backwards, where she moved in first, and then we officially became foster parents like a couple weeks after she moved in. But that's been incredible. I mean, I was expecting a kid that would just be up in their room, glued to their phone, maybe like just never wanting anything to do with us. Instead, we got the complete opposite. She's always down in the living room, hanging out with us, always kind of like pushing us to go off and do something fun when Kelly and I are being two boring adults. It's been an unbelievable experience.
Yeah, well, that's quite a learning curve. You get right into it and take on a 17-year-old, you said?
Yeah, we're skipping diapers and going straight to driving lessons and
That's not necessarily a bad thing. Talking to two grandpas over here, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, I remember when my kids were that age, I was in charge of driving lessons, and the first thing I had to tell them is, keep your hands off the radio dial. Stop goofing around. Let's focus on driving the car. So, So that's all good. Now, you mentioned Kelly. Tell us a little bit about her. What does she do?
She's pretty impressive. She's a workaholic for sure. I met her at UMass Amherst when I went there. We met in a dish room, actually, working at a dining hall. So she was a hard worker back then, and I was pretty impressed by her. And she is a school adjustment counselor at Ipswich High School. And she also works for a private therapy practice where she's a psychologist. And so she's working 2 jobs right now. It's pretty remarkable. What she does, she put herself through school to get her master's to pursue the psychology portion. But she's just incredibly smart, and it really helps having an in-house therapist because I'll come home after a stressful day and I'll be able to talk through whatever I'm going through, and she helps me out, and I'm really, really thankful to have her.
Well, that's awesome. So you guys have a busy life. Yeah, she has 2 jobs. You have a foster teenager.
Yeah.
You're helping to run the family business. You're in charge of the Beverly Rotary Club. So how do you kind of find balance these days? Because life can be busy, and it can't be go, go, go all the time.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the key is to make sure that the things that are taking up your time aren't things that drain you. It should be things that energize you. That's one of the reasons I like to gravitate towards Rotary, is because when I go to Rotary events, I don't leave feeling like, oh my God, I just like spent X amount of time and I feel like I wasted that time. Like, I leave and I feel like I truly did something that I enjoyed. Same thing with working for the family business. Like, it's really rewarding where you leave every day and you feel like you're making a positive impact. So the main thing is just having those things that fill up your cup rather than drain your cup, for so to speak.
Yeah, it's great that you have that awareness. Sometimes it takes a lifetime to achieve that awareness. Some people
sure.
do it earlier than others.
And some people never get there.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. Now, so you've had Rotary in your blood for quite some time. Your dad, Rick, is a Rotarian for many, many years, a past president of our club. When did you actually join the club, Connor?
I want to say it was either 2017 or 2018. It started where I would come to the lunches just as a way to get out of the office. Typical like post-college kid just wants any excuse to not do whatever paperwork is in front of them.
Sure.
I mean, that really hasn't changed. It's still nice to get out of the office a little bit. But he started pulling me along, and as I went each time, more and more faces became familiar, and I started remembering names and building relationships, and I figured, okay, this is something that I probably want to pursue myself. So we decided it was best for me to become my own member, and I'm really happy that I did, because I've made so many incredible connections with so many people in the community.
For sure. What would you say to somebody who approached you and asked you, I'm considering joining Rotary, tell me why I should?
Well, I think it goes back to, in this day and age, it's so hard to create meaningful connection in the world. It's like, so many people work from home, so many people are just glued to their phones, like on social media. You don't get that person-to-person interaction. I mean, Rotary is just an awesome opportunity to meet like-minded people that want to do good things. I mean, a situation like this where we're sitting down and talking and getting to know each other, like, without Rotary, we wouldn't be sitting here, and it's just it's a really special opportunity to have those deeper connections with people around you and in your community, because that neighbor-to-neighbor connection is disappearing quite a bit these days, and Rotary helps bring that together again.
Certainly is. Certainly is. If that question were posed to you from a young professional like yourself, that many times, as you know, young people get distracted with different things that they're doing. But if it was somebody who wanted to join Rotary, how would you answer the question, how could Rotary benefit this young professional as they're moving forward?
Well, I think one of the hardest things when you're coming out of college and entering the business world is making adult friends. Like you'll see a big theme of what I'm talking about is friendship with Rotary. We have social events. We have, like, just last week there was an event where we rented out a tall ship and cruised around the Salem and Beverly Marblehead Harbor. There was about 30 of us. We had a phenomenal time. Like, it's those types of events that you can get exposure to and meet similar people to yourself, and Rotary kind of does all the vetting for you, where if you meet a Rotary member, you already know they're a good person. You know where kind of where their ethics lay, and so it takes that guessing out of it, and it provides for a really good opportunity to meet good people.
And not to mention do a whole lot of networking as well, because
Right.
a lot of times some of the younger people are still trying to find themselves and figure out where their career options are and where to go and who to talk to, right?
Yep, exactly. And a lot of times when you're thinking about going, if you want to be a new client somewhere, you have say for example, like we just had a member that joined that's a photographer, Carlos. Like, now I know when I need headshots taken, I know I'm going to Carlos.
Yep.
And I already know Carlos is a good person. I already know I'm going to enjoy working with him.
Great guy.
So it's just, it's a perfect example of, it's a win-win where it helps networking and it also helps those relationships. For sure.
Even though Rotary isn't about business, business obviously gets done quietly because you build friendships and relationships and trust and awareness, and that leads to business. People like to do business with people who they know and trust, and certainly there's a lot of trust that gets developed in Rotary. So
100%.
That's for sure. I'm going to take a very quick break right about now. Please pay attention to your TV and watch this 3 minute video all about some of the great things that the Rotary Club does. And we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Thank you.
We raise a lot of money for Beverly organizations.
And they bought us our refrigerated van.
They made a significant contribution to the restoration of Ellis Square.
They helped us house a family experiencing homelessness.
They bought us our bookmobile.
They were actually the first ones to donate instruments to the high school band.
They bought oxygen masks for our rescue dogs.
They helped buy our school bus.
They fund the annual Brad Gage Ice Cream Social at Lynch Park every summer, and they even scoop the ice cream.
Since 2014, they've supported the Cabot, funding preservation of this historic gem.
They helped to fund the Council on Aging van.
They were a major donor to our new infant toddler playground.
They bought an emergency generator for Harbor Lighthouse.
We funded and built the gazebo.
And we've got a green thumb.
A lot of green thumbs.
A lot of green thumbs.
Not to mention sculptures.
We planted more than 100 trees last year.
They donated a shuttle bus stop that brings veterans to the VA hospital in Bedford.
We're going to buy a water drone to clean plastics out of Beverly Harbor.
They make a big difference for United Way.
We give up to 8 scholarships.
8 scholarships every year since the mid-1980s.
And I was a recipient, and thanks to their help, I was the first in my family to go to college.
It's more than just a local organization.
There are 33,000 clubs
in 200 countries with 1.2 million members worldwide.
All that good adds up.
Those do-gooders just keep doing good.
We funded 13 wells in Kisumu, Kenya, bringing water to 13 schools.
We contributed to Kalusha School in Pakistan, and later to the construction of a fabulous women's college.
Hi, I'm Izzy Polito. I'm Mirabella Polito. I'm Andrea Polito. And we're all youth exchange students.
We started the youth exchange program 13 years ago, partly because I was also an exchange student in 1979.
I'm Aku. I'm from Finland. They hosted me as exchange student.
We funded Dr. Gordon Sato of Hamilton, who devised a way to grow trees in salt water in Senegal, Mauritania, and Eritrea.
Our club has funded at least 20 life-changing surgeries around the world.
And we've participated as non-medical volunteers.
In the Philippines.
In Bolivia.
And Venezuela.
And remember,
since launching the Polio Plus campaign over 30 years ago, the number of polio cases worldwide has dropped 99%.
In 2019, clubs in the district joined the Polar Plunge to eradicate polio.
The club's raised $90,000. Can we get back to Beverly, please?
Over the past 10 years, we've raised, probably about $100,000. Try $400,000.
Over the past 10 years, we've raised over $1 million.
I have made some wonderful friends.
It's downright inspiring.
It's an important part of my week.
It's a very important part of my week.
Sometimes it's the best part of my week.
It's one of the best things I do.
Even if people still ask about the secret handshake.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Mike Harrington. Again, our guest here today is Connor Mooney, president of the Beverly Rotary Club. Hey, Connor, one of the mottos in Rotary is service above self, and that's kind of a broad term. That can mean a lot of different things to different people. But you, particularly as the Rotary president this year, what does that mean to you?
To me, it means leaving the world a better place than you found it. Sometimes it's really easy to be selfish and put yourself first and just go to work, come home, not really think about others, not thinking about what the community needs are out there. It's kind of, sometimes you got to sacrifice your own personal time and your own personal benefit to roll up your sleeves and do something for the greater good. So that's what it means to me.
Okay, so if you leave your presidency after 1 year and you feel like the club's in a better place in the local community, you're able to positively impact it in a positive way, that would give you a feeling of satisfaction.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about the legacy that you leave behind and the difference that it's all about the impact you make on other people and making others' lives a little bit better. So sure. That's what my goal is, for sure.
Hey, for some of our viewers that aren't particularly familiar with Rotary, Rotary is broken into a series of different compartments. There's a community and education and community service and fundraising and things like that. Just for our people who's watching this at home, can you just give our viewers kind of a quick overview of some of the different pieces of Rotary, maybe a few of them that they're not familiar with?
Yeah, so it's that's a great question. So it's really broken down into three things. You have your social events, you have your service projects, and then you have your fundraisers. Social events, it's for building camaraderie and having a good time. We have a few of those planned this year. The service projects is about, like I said, rolling your sleeves up and making a difference, whether it's like an environmental thing, if it's feeding food-sensitive people in need. That's also a big part of what we do. And then the third thing, fundraising, because we obviously want to give back, give money back to the community, to specific organizations that we believe in to help elevate them. That's the third piece that comes into play. So we have different fundraisers, whether it's events, it could be like raffles, it could come in different forms. But I like to focus on those three things because I think those three things are really like the pillars or foundations of what this club is truly about.
Sure. And there's also an international component. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? It's not just confined here to the United States, it's all over the world, right?
Yeah, Rotary has some pretty incredible projects all over the world. I know Beverly Rotary Club specifically helped a town get clean drinking water. I don't remember the town off the top of my head, but that was a project that spoke to me when I was first getting involved with Rotary, because here we are in this small local community and we're helping people halfway across the world with a basic need as simple as clean water. And also with polio eradication, that's a big one. Rotary has had a huge impact in eradicating that disease, along with, and they've paired up with the Gates Foundation. So Rotary has been able to kind of leverage themselves and really make a huge difference in a lot of different areas around the world.
Oh, terrific. Thanks for explaining that.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you talked about fundraising. And of course, our viewers should know that Mike Harrington has been managing our fundraising for the past 200 years with the Beverly Rotary Club, and at one point, even before that, at the Saugus Rotary Club. So
yeah, we got some great people helping with that, particularly moving forward, too.
Let me ask you, Connor, so as you well know, incoming presidents, past presidents, always bring in a particular set of goals that they want to achieve during the course of the year as president. Tell us about some of yours.
Well, I think one of our main goals is always bringing in new members. If there's any prospective members out there listening, like I would love for you to come check us out. We meet Thursdays at Danversport at 12:15. We meet for lunch. It's very casual. It's a great time. So new members, number one. Fundraising is so that way we have the opportunity to give back to the community. And then I also, like I've mentioned before, the service projects and just building the friendship. Those are my main goals, and basically not messing it up is another goal. Just don't let things just totally blow up in my face.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah, if I can get through the year and there have been no fist fights and the club still exists, then that's a win.
That would be a first. Right? That would really be a first. Talk a little bit, if you would, about the relevancy of Rotary. You mentioned a little bit earlier, worldwide. Where do you think Rotary is going? Where would you like it to go?
It's from what I've heard, it's growing internationally. There's different countries out there that Rotary is really taking off. I think India is one of them. India is like one of the fastest growing countries, but I think that there's a big misconception about Rotary in the United States where kind of people think of it as like an old gentleman's club when it's really not the case. We have a lot of young professionals that are really sharp, and I think just fighting that stereotype is important. Just getting the general perception of Rotary out there on an international or national level is really important, because if you can change that brand in people's heads, then they're going to be more likely to join and get involved.
For sure.
Yeah, and we certainly have men and women, all different backgrounds, all different age groups, and so it's pretty diverse, and diversity is a good thing.
100%. I couldn't agree more.
Hey, every new president that comes into Rotary, I've noticed, usually in some cases we do things that were very similar to the year before, but almost every president kind of brings in a few new signature activities or fundraisers or things that they think are kind of cool. And I know one of the ones you're doing this year is something called Paddleboard Cleanup, and that sounds like it's going to be a great event. Can you tell us a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, so one thing Rotary International focuses on is helping with the environment and making cleaning things up and making it a better world to live in. In that sense, there's a Thursday in August that we're all going to be going down to Aubert Park. We have paddle boards set up where you just show up, and we're going to be cleaning the coastline, cleaning up trash, and there's no RSVP. I'm hoping that a lot of the general public shows up, and I just want to help clean up our little slice of the earth to make it a little bit of a better place. And even if we show up and we pick up one gum wrapper, everyone's volunteering their time, so that was a win. And that's going to be a really fun event. I think it's going to be something that people will want to show up and do, because you get out on the water, paddleboarding's fun, and you can do some good at the same time.
And you don't have to be a Rotarian, obviously. Anybody in the community can get involved. Is there any particular way they can learn about it or get involved?
There's a Facebook event. That's probably the number one thing. We have a flyer that's posted around different businesses around the community. But the Facebook event, if you search Paddleboard Cleanup hosted by Beverly Rotary, that's where you're going to see a lot of the information if you're interested in checking it out.
Awesome. Hey, another thing that's on your radar this year is the Beverly 400 Plus celebration. We're obviously celebrating a kind of an important milestone in our city this year, and there's a lot of activities and planning going into that. Can you tell us a little bit about Rotary's plan to be involved in that?
Yeah, we're so excited to be partnered with Beverly 400 Plus. It's a huge celebration for the city, and one of the things that Rotary is assisting with is the beautification of Independence Park, where it's going to be modernized, it's going to become more handicap accessible, and there's going to be some storyboards that show the history of the park. Rotary has committed over 2 years $20,000 towards that project, which I'm really proud of. I think right off the bat that was something that I really wanted to get involved with, and I think it's really cool for our members to see that their money is going towards something they can look, see, feel, and touch within their community and really enjoy.
Yeah, tangible is nice.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Tangible is nice, and the Independence Park project is a legacy project, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's going to be here forever. So So on behalf of that committee of which I serve, I thank you for your leadership on that. Very much appreciated.
My pleasure.
What would you say is your favorite Rotary memory to this point?
So you talked about things, Mike, that some Rotary presidents did in the past, and there's one thing that I kind of want to bring back. It's the mini auction. That's been a huge hit over the past couple years. If we're lucky enough, we'll get an auctioneer as good as Al if he's up on the Northeast when we have it scheduled.
Yeah, well, he's worldwide now. I mean, Temkin International, right? Yeah.
But I want to bring that back. It's going to be in January. I'm hoping to do it at a fun event or a fun venue somewhere with a bar. Have some food. Raise money towards a really good cause. Get rid of the Christmas gifts that you might not have any interest in. Maybe you do have interest in, and you just want to pay it forward to Rotary so they can reap the benefits. That's the mini auction is definitely one of my favorite events because it's a social event, but it's also a fundraiser at the same time, and it's pretty unique because I don't really see a lot of that. I haven't seen a similar style event around
ton of fun.
Community.
Ton of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and always raised good money.
Exactly.
For the club as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
win-win.
so cool. Well, what would you say, Connor, how has Rotary helped you to grow as a leader?
There's a couple different ways. I mean, number one, the big thing is public speaking. I think just getting yourself in front of a group of people, even when you're uncomfortable, is really important. It's a good life skill to have. It's helped me become a more well-rounded professional, where it adds depth to my day-to-day. And I'm forgetting the second half of that question.
How has it helped you become a better leader?
Just kind of getting thrown into the fire and being in situations that are sink and swim. As the president, you're the last line of defense. If you don't come up with a solution, it might not get done. That could mean either addressing it yourself, it could mean delegating it to the right person, but by being thrown into that leadership position, you really get a good sense on the best way to handle different things that come at you. And the very last thing I want to do is duck those things that come at me. I want to kind of handle it head on and handle it as best I can.
Ducking is not your style. No. I happen to know that for a fact. Yeah.
Well, hey, this has been a great session, and we thank you so much for being here today, Connor. Al and I are both certain you'll be a terrific president. You've been a great president so far, and you've got a really busy, ambitious year ahead of you. And certainly Al and I and all of our fellow Rotarians are here to help you. So good luck, and thank you so much for being here today. Anybody at home, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the Beverly Rotary Club, certainly visit our website, beverlyrotaryclub.com. Whether you'd like to join as a member, come to one of our luncheons or meetings, get involved in some of our activities. We'd always love to meet you and answer any questions. Al Temkin, my co-pilot here, thank you so much for being here today. But everybody, we'll see you next time back here on Around Town with Rotary. Thank you.